So I am going to. We're going live on me. Welcome back. I'll repeat things over and over all night. I'm trying the new sit down mode. I usually stand up, but you know what? I'm kind of tired today, so I'm going to sit down for our announcements. So this top-down view, I don't know if it's flattering or you can see maybe my balding. I don't know. Announcements, we'll just get right into it because we want to get into our arc finale. So welcome again. Let's just talk about maybe we had a sub right at the end at last show, and I was told it was Mike at Twitch. So it's Mike at Twitch. Thank you for sub, man. That is awesome. And I missed. Let me go to your guys' there, because Cygnus over there, he just said hi, Dad, and we missed it. But so thank you so much. It means a lot, and do know that it's free. I mean, if you link up your Twitch Prime, your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch, it becomes Twitch Prime, and you can sub to whatever you want for like a month, and it's very supportive of all of our fellow Twitch streamers. So hop out there. There's a lot of our friends out there that really would love to have you sub also. So sponsors, I'm gonna go over those real quick. Arc Knight, of course, is always one of our good supporters. You can check out Arc Knight not just on their website, but in the Dungeon in a Box, that monthly subscription. Their products come inside of that box, which is pretty cool. Plus, I got word they will be at Gen Con, so they will have a booth and some things going on at Gen Con there. So good luck to you guys out there. That'll be really awesome. Also, Ambient Realms. We're working pretty closely with Ambient Realms to do some cool stuff. I'll give you a little teaser. We just acquired a bunch of board games, and we'll go into that here in a second. But the couple of the board games, Ambient Realms has put music and ambience to them. So two of them, one of them is Massive Darkness, and the other one is Zombicide. So we may be doing something at a local shop here soon. So stay tuned for that, okay? But Ambient Realms, check them out. They do a lot of our background music and stuff. They do a lot of background sounds. Not really music, but more like ambiance, which is pretty cool. So check them out. Big advocates of Huntington's Disease Society of America and also Autism Speaks. So make sure and check them out. Some really great causes. Real quick, I want to make sure that if anybody's watching and you are from the greater Sacramento area, we do have some local events that are coming up. We do like to go out to the pubs, tap rooms. I won't call them a pub. Go out to the tap rooms. So our next one will be June 16th. We call it Tap into Tabletop. We'll be back at YOLO Brewing. So come check it out. We'll have some RPGs. We'll have some board games, some discounts on beer, all of our favorite things. So that's something coming up on June 16th. We're going to try and do that every month, maybe twice a month. There's a couple more breweries we're working with. So we'll go from there. Starting June 1st, which is right around the corner, we have been asked to be part of a local thing called First Fridays, which is up here at the North Natomas Regional Park, where they have local vendors, they have music, they have food trucks, they have beer, they have just a good time. So now they're going to have board games to play. So they've asked us to be there. We will be there the next 4 First Fridays. So it's First Fridays of the month. You can check out all this stuff on our website, all this stuff on our schedule. It's all there, timestabletop.com. I think it's /schedule. Pretty tough. So without further, you know what they say, adieu, we will bring it over and turn their mic on. And everybody says hi. Hi. And I'm trying to figure out there we go. Found it.
Oh, there's
Found the buttons. All right, I'm going to give it over to Mike.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Generation Hero, the epic superhero saga that takes you through the entire comic book history, one issue at a time. This is episode 5, the grand finale of our Bronze Age arc, an issue entitled Demon City. This is the end of the Bronze Age, the end of our 1970s section of the story, and we're going to start in kind of an intense place. we'll do a quick recap, but first, let's meet the heroes. So tell me who you are, who your hero is, and what are they facing? What's happening with them as they go into the end? Marvin, we'll start with you, as always.
Yep. So hi, I'm Marvin, and I'm playing Brave Blade, the reformed hero who was formerly known as the Secret King. Right now, as he's facing this whole demon invasion by Paragon with his teammates, he's questioning whether or not heroism is really for him. The sword's getting to him, whispering dreams of being a greater villain than he ever was. So, yeah,
Temptation.
up to him whether he goes down that path or chooses his own.
Question is, does he give cookies like the dark side?
Oh man, if cookies are in the bargain, snickerdoodles, the most evil of all flavors.
Answer right now.
Evil, you mean delicious?
Yeah.
After that, we have Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing the doomed hero, Strangel. So basically my dad is here, and that's not good for anybody. My doom track is pretty much filled up, which means I'm going to probably die soon. So that's fun. Minor correction to the name of the title of this episode. It shouldn't be Demon City. It should be Extraplanar Being from Between the Stars City.
Alright, I'll make a change to the issue.
Yeah, just doesn't. I know it's not.
That's gonna look real good at the newsstand.
I know it's not. I know it's
Throw that in
not
a spinner rack.
catchy, but it's accurate. And don't we really aim for accuracy? At any rate, also is sometimes turned into a werewolf-like thing, so that's great.
It's a fun time.
Life is joy.
Joining us again, our special guest star, Dallas.
Hi, I'm Dallas. I'll be playing Mikhail Ivanovich Bondarenko, also known as Nichibo. And he is, until recently, kind of unsure of what's going on in his life in the world, but now that he's met one of his childhood superheroes and basically, in his eyes, fought alongside him, he's been to extraplanar space homes, if I'm correct, and now curious to meet the father.
And then returning, we have Nick.
Hi. My name's Nick. I'm playing Tai Kong Jia again, also known as Furious Tiger. Got it right this time. Basically, I think last time got to the ship, convinced Flair to not attack us, and now has influence over him, which is fun. Now he's just sort of... We'll see what happens.
I think so. He chose to talk rather than fight. The right option for sure.
Yep.
Then we have Lucy.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm playing Venus. She is, wow, where do I even start? Anyway, she has the power of pheromones to get people to do what she wants, and she's been pretty good at it so far. Now she's stuck on the ship, and yeah, I guess she also has unlocked her moment of truth, so we'll see if she gets there today.
All right. And then finally we have Michael.
I'm playing Cygnus. I am Strangel's brother. However, unlike the negativity of Strangel, he has a positive attitude that violence solves everything.
I don't like violence.
I encourage it, but playing the joint playbook, we have similar powers and just slight differences. And I don't know. He's been with the group less than 24 hours, I would say.
Yeah.
And has formed strong friendships. Kind of, sort of.
With
He
Venus.
can call everybody by name, and he's really in lust with Venus. But it's
Took over my
that's pretty
friendship
accurate.
That's
with
pretty accurate,
Venus.
yeah.
Yes.
I'd called dibs on friends, and he just swooped in.
Oh. You can
that's
still be
how-
friends with her.
He's a younger brother, you know, they're brats.
Oh. Could be.
By like 5 minutes.
Sure. Eons, 5 minutes. It all depends on how you look at it.
Something like that. What also depends on how you look at it is the state of the world. Mostly, it looks pretty bad. What happened is that President Nixon manipulated America into getting these heroes, or at least the 4 of them, to act as patsies. He framed them for the theft of a demonic artifact, which allowed Nixon to contact Paragon, a ferocious, extraplanar, world-devouring monster, their father. And in return for undoing the whole Watergate thing, he brought Paragon into this world. Of course, Paragon, he don't care about human politics, and he's taken over Sentinel City. He's not coming through Strangel. He's not turning her into the portal. Instead, he's turned all the citizens of Sentinel City into portals. The entire city is now possessed by a demon. And if they're allowed to continue, he is going to start scheming his way through. Already, bits and pieces of him are coming through into our world. So what happened last time is that Cygnus and Strangel teleported away for a face-off with Nixon, but were not able to stop the arrival of Paragon. Meanwhile, the other 4 heroes, or at least 3 of them, and Nichivo, who is sort of a messenger working for the Crimson Empress, a vampire queen. They're in the Watcher Wing, this giant airship. They went to find out the truth when their friends teleported away.
I think I was still in the spider ship.
Yes.
Wasn't
It was attacked by a bunch of spider gunships. Brave Blade thought quickly, encountered their leader, the maniacal mastermind Weaver, and arranged a deal. And right now, Spider has kind of called off the attack, and the gunship's just hovering there. Because if Paragon takes over the world, Spider loses as well. So a temporary alliance has been made. But first, we're going to start the story with Strangel and Cygnus. You guys are just outside of City Hall in Sentinel City. Tons of possessed citizens start coming towards you. Just policemen, mailmen, city workers, housewives, kids, bubblegum people, reptile people, gorilla people, all converging in a silent mob. Their eyes are glowing a bit red, and their faces are starting to swirl as they're becoming portals to Paragon.
Brother, you have to go get the others.
Well, it's going to take the 3 dozen on the right.
Go get the others. I will face this danger alone. Despite the fact that I do not like facing danger alone, it's important the others get here.
Well, as this mob is converging, both of you hear a psychic message. It is from your butler, Alhurezad, saying, Mistress Strangel, Master Cygnus, if you would join me in the rather dingy alleyway a bit across town, once you have lost your pursuers, I believe I have someone who would dearly like to make your acquaintance. Yeah, so he wants to meet you in this alley, and you psychically know where it is, just across town.
Okay.
But first you gotta get away from this huge mob of possessed citizens coming towards you.
Alrighty.
So what are you doing?
I am going to do a thing, but I can't dig out the right sheet.
Go for it. Cygnus,
Okay.
do you want to start murdering these innocent
no.
possessed people? No? Okay.
She said not to.
Alright, good idea. You'll hold back.
I'm
will-
gonna go ahead and try to charge up.
Okay, so you're this is the burn this
This
year.
is the burn.
How do we do
Hey, I
that?
get to mark potential.
Okay.
I get to hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions. So
Not a great start,
I
but
also get to mark potential, so that's nice. So let's see. Being as she is who she is, she's got to mark angry as one of them. Or do I in this case? I guess I still should. She's still like got the werewolf thingy. Okay. Fine. Angry, and she's feeling hopeless, and she's feeling hopeless.
this is the time to feel hopeless. I would
Yeah,
say.
and she's feeling insecure. But that's okay, because I know what my 2 burn are for. And let's see if she can avoid turning into a monster. And I get to mark more potential. Because, yeah, that's a failure, because it's mundane.
So you've turned into Strange Wolf now.
Yeah, so she's going to turn into Strange Wolf in a second. So let's see. Oh, wait, I already did one my moment of truth.
Alright, Cygnus.
Yeah, so she was planning on defending these people, and instead she's turning into a monster.
Alright,
That
Cygnus.
would be comfort and support.
You gotta figure out. Yeah, you've had a
If
second
you
to
want
stop
her to
this.
stop being a...
Yes, because she just told me not to, and that's my move. She's going for it. Then if she starts at this point in time, I've seen her change several times.
Yeah,
So when
you
she
know.
starts going down that road, he will try to comfort and support her.
She goes like, "Damn it, not now!"
Let's
Werewolf, so inconvenient.
Which one is comfort and support?
Monday.
Mundane? Oh, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and mark potential here.
Well,
And as I say, no, bad dog.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, figured.
And you are heading right towards
Yeah.
some poor mailman.
Yeah.
our heroes, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know, I'm about to murder the
But
innocent.
that does unlock my moment of truth.
Oh, okay.
So
Um,
I'll let you figure out which,
All right,
which
Kat,
order
you
you
have
want
a
that
plan
to go.
for this, or?
yeah, now that she's a werewolf, she's going to use those 2 burns to overcharge. You channeled the full. She was going to do it anyways, but now she's doing a horrible thing with it instead. You channel the full capacity of your incredible powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses. So, spend 2 burn and take a 10+ when you unleash your powers. So basically, she's just ripping through this crowd to get to the
Oh
alley.
no! All right.
Like clearing a pretty easy swath, and just
Yeah, I mean these aren't like these are just possessed people. So
yeah, she's just charging right through them.
I know. So
Killing them, right?
Yes,
no, well, she's at least maiming them.
she's badly injuring them.
There's probably some fatalities in there.
Yeah.
Seeing as though
It's not that she
Unless,
my
hold
moment
on,
of
Cygnus.
truth.
Unless there's something you can do to stop this.
So, my moment of truth is the joined. Either I am working with her or solo. And in this case, since she's clearly not of her own possession, he'll be working alone. So, it goes a little something like that I'm on my own. It's like missing an arm, like fighting naked, like holding my breath. However, I'm missing something vital, but I'm moving faster than ever, thinking faster than ever, doing things that I couldn't do while relying on the strength of the other combined. And it's hitting me hard that I can do this
Whoa.
without them, and I can win. It's going to be hard to come down off this high and rejoin them afterwards, isn't it? So, doing that, I will tuck into my powers here. Let me see
Yeah, so
what I can
you-
do to protect some people here.
Yeah. So what do you do? I'll say this is like you get this right before she starts the butchery.
Right before she
I do want
starts
to note that
moving
this
that
thing
direction.
does clear 2 of my conditions, which is fling yourself into easy relief and take foolhardy action without consulting anybody.
Yeah. You'll still get to clear those, even though I think he's going to stop it. So what powers do you throw down
Well, I
to stop her and
think
get to where you're going to be?
since I see her starting to head the direction of that group, I think the easiest thing to do would just be to maybe kick in some actual super speed and literally, as she's going, just get in front using the combination of super speed and strength and just creating the wake for her
Whoa.
while doing minimal damage as opposed to
Maximum.
her actual
Maximum.
For sure.
her
Yeah.
actual maximum carnage would be literally as she's swiping towards one kind of I'm not concerned about material items or things, so if she wants to smash cars and break buildings while she's making
Which
her way
she
through the
definitely
alleyway,
is doing.
his concern is mostly the possessed people, especially the women and the children. The men, but the women and the children, definitely getting them out of the way.
Whoa. Well, thanks to that, the only
In a blink of an eye. That nobody sees because everyone around is possessed.
Wow, well,
so there's my
thanks.
moment of heroism that no one sees.
I see.
oh, it's pretty great.
But do you?
I don't know. She's in a rage spiral.
She some of it gets through, I'm sure. And this is the time Cygnus used his moment of truth to save people and avoid violence.
Weird.
Yeah, very. It's quite.
Very unlike him.
It's the definition of irony. So thanks to that, you were able to make your way through the mob. You were able to get away from them. You head down this sort of dingy, out of the way alley, and Alharezed is there. Mr. Alharezed is there waiting for you, but he has somebody with him. It is Henry Kissinger, who is Nixon's, I believe he was Secretary of State.
He was the Secretary of
Yes.
State.
Who is sort of a overweight, jowly fellow, who greets you as you come inside and says, "Well, well, the 2 young heroes who have caused such trouble.
I'll kill you and rape your mother.
That is unfortunate. Is there some way you could put her in a better form?
I'm very tired. All right, give me a moment.
Is there some way you could make her more agreeable, Mr. Cygnus?
I can try. Yes. Star. And then he.
What?
How does that song go? I'm drawing a blank.
Rainy days and Mondays?
And he will attempt to calm her down with
sing some
Carpenter's
Carpenters.
song. If
Straight
he
to
remembers,
space.
he does not. He totally butchers the song and fails completely.
All right.
Just like me, I cannot come up with a Carpenter song at this exact second.
That's true, but I will say just enough. The song is enough that you're not in rage mode. You're not going to murder Henry Kissinger where he stands.
So I can calm down and be myself again.
Yeah,
Okay.
the wolf is still definitely in you. It'll probably pop out like the next scene, but you're able to subdue it just for a little bit.
Oh, am I still in wolf form then?
A little bit. You're sort of like halfway between the transformation.
Okay.
Ooh, hybrid.
Yeah.
Right.
So Kissinger says,
Sorry about that. I'm not quite myself.
I see. This demonic intrusion, it is no good. It must be stopped. Do you think you can stop it?
Number one, we're not demons, and I don't know why I have to keep clarifying this all the time.
Okay. I thought there was another danger.
Indeed, we must always use the proper terminology.
We are extraplanar beings from between the stars.
I will try and remember.
Should
Now-
really come up with a way to shorten that.
So,
Yeah,
can you stop this?
I think I can, but I need to be a lot less angry
That's what I'm coming up with.
to stop it.
Then I suggest you calm yourself. You, brother, you seem the calmer of the two, Mr. Cygnus.
Well, I'm the more positive of the two.
Interesting. Anyway, this is what must happen. You must stop this demonic infestation. Now, the president. I understand he may have had something to do with this. Yes?
I'll kill him.
You must not kill him.
I will. I'll kill him and I'll desecrate his corpse.
That would be very, very bad headlines. The president is a great man, but like many great men, he has flaws. He must survive this.
You don't have shapeshifters in this dimension?
I'm afraid not.
Well, you just be replaced.
If
Yes,
You
let us
can-
kill him and my brother can take his place. He'll be a better president for sure.
I don't like that plan.
Then I'll take his place. I'll be a better president.
Slightly better.
give me a provoke. Kissinger's like
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, it's not very believable, but I get to mark more potential.
Yeah, you mark that potential. He's like somehow I think a soul-devouring monster from beyond the stars would be a poor commander-in-chief. But perhaps you are right that it could not be worse. Anyway,
I just mean maybe have a backup plan in case.
good point. I suggest you run as a Democrat. Anyway, I will grant both of you and all of your heroes and all of the heroes in the Society of Sentinels pardons. I will make sure no harm comes to the organization if you can bring the president back alive and put a stop to this.
You
The
have
world.
That power. You have that power.
There is no power I do not have.
Interesting. All right.
Bring him back alive.
Wait, you want us to just get Nixon, or do you want us to stop our dad from taking over all these people's bodies?
I would say both. Two objectives.
You want us to just bring him to you?
I mean, he will find his way back to the proper place in time. Just make sure that he survives. Stop this. Stop your father. Keep the president alive. Do that, and the SOS will be safe. You have my word.
And we want this SOS safe.
I don't care about them. I just want to kill Nixon.
We'll figure it out.
Don't do that, or you and all your friends will remain enemies of the
I
state.
don't have friends.
Oh yeah, Venus. Right? I mean, just
Is she glaring at you in your wolf
No.
form?
Her half wolf form.
Alharazan says, Mistress, this may not be entirely my place, but those guests who shared your mansion, you may not call them your friends, and perhaps in your current form, you are rather difficult to reason with, but I never saw you so happy as when you were with them. I urge you, do not do anything now that would make their lives more difficult. So,
want to catch a bite real quick.
Kissinger says, I don't know if you have time. Is there some way to stop this?
First thing you need to do is you need to get a record player and play the Carpenters.
I will leave you to do that. In the meantime, I have some more allies who might assist you. He points further down the alley. He says, they are individuals who I would usually detest, but as the saying goes, politics makes strange bedfellows. Oh yeah, it's the suicide. What is some kind of suicide squad? I don't advise getting killed by katana. Her sword drinks the souls of those. No, it is not the. Oh, that's kind of like Beyblade sword a little bit. Anyway, it's not the cast of the great movie Suicide Squad. Instead, it is Comrade Savage, who you guys left in the castle in her sanctum, but Alharazan brought him out there, so that Viet Cong Batut Tut is there with a bunch of weaponry ready to go, and also the Crimson Empress is there
Okay.
with some of her vampiric assistants there too.
Put my arm on her shoulder. I still want to fight that thing.
The Batut Tut?
Yes.
Conrad
Great
Savage
story.
says, maybe another time. I think given the circumstances, we're all comrades now. And with you guys getting some new allies, we're going to go back to the bridge of the Watcher Wing, where Flair is taking control of the helm and is looking down to the city, and they realize that the possession has happened. So Flair is looking down. They're using the Watcher Wing's cameras. They're in communication now through radio with the gunship where you and Weaver are. So Spider, the battle in the sky has stopped. Flair's looking down and says, "It's what we feared. This. What are the exact words you used, Kat, to describe Paragon?"
Extraplanar being from between the stars?
Yes, that's what Flair would use, exactly. He's smart enough not to call it a demon.
Can't we just
This
call them
extraplanar-
aliens?
No.
He's like, we're going to use the proper terminology. This extraplanar entity from beyond the stars has taken over the city. We need to find some way to stop this. He looks back at you guys and he says, you're new to the SOS, but you've demonstrated more competence than most of us. Especially Americaman over here. And Americaman just kind of like, sorry.
Yeah, he always knows what he's doing. This guy.
I'm trying, I guess. So Flair says, what do you think we should do? Also, you know Strangel and Cygnus. They're the ones they're the children of Paragon.
Do we know if Paragon can only possess humans?
I think he can possess just about anything.
Like plants?
He might be seeping into the soil. Do you have a plan involving plants?
Yeah. I don't know if
Well,
without consulting them, I don't know if it'll work, really.
okay, well, we gotta go down there and meet them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and find a spot. But then as he's saying this, the Watcher Wing has a rumble and starts to shake. Some of the crewmen come back and give a quick report, and Flair's like, "You suffered catastrophic engine failure. The whole ship's going down.
Alright.
We gotta figure out some way to... maybe with your help, we can try and find some place to land this. Otherwise, it's gonna crash in the city and explode, and we'll all be killed before we can even bring the fight to Paragon."
I do not know how to fly. I'm not a gamer. What do we do?
American's like, I don't know, grab some of those throttles, try.
I'm gonna do assess the situation.
Yeah, you can roll such situation. Meanwhile, you're hearing all this on the radio, and Weaver's like, those SOS fools. What do you think, Secret King? Shall we watch them fly to their doom, and then we go to bring the battle to Paragon?
Question. Do you really think you're going to be able to win the fight against Paragon on your own?
I take your point. Do you have a plan to save their ship?
What do you have in the remaining ships? Anything that can fix the big airship?
I'm not sure we have a new engine for the Watcher Wing, but all of our gunships do have wires and hooks. They could perhaps slow the descent and guide him to a safe place.
Yeah, because that's not flying again. Alright, make it so.
Usually I'm the one giving the command. He just turns to his pilots like, make it so!
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's in charge of the ship right now?
Ooh. Okay. Roll, go ahead and roll provoke on this guy. We'll see how he feels about this. Because this guy's the mastermind. He's used to ordering others around.
That's a 7.
Nice. Okay. You're gonna take a +1 against him in the future, I think. So he doesn't like it, but he realizes that right now you're kind of the boss. The sword sort of gives you the card, and the sword's like, yes, command them. They will be your army. We will wreak great terror upon the earth with them at our side. So, Nichivo, how'd you do?
I got a 9. So it says on 7 and 9 I can ask 1.
Okay, what are you thinking? And this turns out to the overall situation too at Paragon.
So what gear can I use or help to maybe divert power or click a switch that might just enable us to make us safer or anything?
Ooh, okay. Thanks to that, you are able to piece together some basic engineering skills. The crewmen help you a bit too, but you were able to get the throttle, get the engines to the right set, kind of slow them down a bit, the right setting, I mean. So it's going to be a safe landing. The gunships all come around, their hooks stab down to the side of the Watcher Wing, and together they're able to put it down. There's Sentinel City Park, which is just across the alley where you are, and that is where the Watcher Wing comes to a halt. Yeah, almost like some game designer made it. Or some comic book. That's like some comic book writer wrote the script that way. So perhaps in a big double-page spread, the Watcher Wing has crashed. No, not crashed. It's settled down and landed in the middle of this park, and you guys can see it. Cygnus and Stranger, you can see it from your alley.
Alhazred, do you have my record player?
I can fetch it, my mistress.
Get it. Play every single that you can possibly play on it. All of that stuff should make me happy and keep me in control.
Excellent. I shall raid your record collection for your favorites.
Okay.
And he disappears into his sanctum.
Right.
So I guess
Find a way to make this portable.
It is a portable record player. We should have brought it in the first place. I'm so mad that we didn't bring it.
So are we together now? Are we walking towards them?
They're probably walking towards you.
Okay.
They just crossed the street there in the park. Right now, Flair and some of those Magnivores, Savage, the Crimson Empress, and Americamen's there too. Kissinger is kind of hanging back. He's sort of making himself scarce. All you guys have assembled in the park.
Should I kind of try to roll mundane again just to see if maybe she can get herself under
Yeah.
control?
Sometimes fast. Go for it.
Yay! Oh, wait. No, because my mundane's -2.
Oh no! All right, you're still struggling. Why do you think you're still angry at this point?
Because my record player isn't here yet, and Alhazred should have known that I needed my record player.
Well, he is going to get it.
Also, Henry Kissinger is dumb.
Accurate. This is a tangent, but Henry Kissinger just wrote this this opinion piece for The Atlantic that I read, where he's like, artificial intelligences are a danger. They could make amoral decisions. And okay. And we're continuing the war in Vietnam, dude. Come on, really? All right. Anyway, sorry, I just want to go off on Henry Kissinger. Nobel Peace Prize, my ass. Anyway, okay. So you guys are in the park when suddenly the park is surrounded by possessed citizens on all sides.
At this point, I want to turn to both of them. I give them a little wave, but I turn to Stranger and Cygnus. I'm like, so can your father possess flowers or trees or floral.
Once he's through the portal, he'll possess this entire planet.
I mean, right now, because these people, like, if they somehow become plants, will he still be able to portal in?
Maybe not. Are you gonna turn them all into plants?
So I had a dream. I had a dream.
I had a dream of turning everyone into plants. And the
To
difference.
save the world.
For sure.
So I had a dream that it was my home planet is actually they're made of like Venus flytraps. That's the whole like planet, and they're like sentient and everything, and they have the power to use pheromones to turn things into plants. But they also have the ability to turn them back. So if I call upon them, maybe they can stop this by, just doing that little switcheroo. Real quick.
Doesn't hurt to try, especially because they don't have my record player yet.
Sure, he's getting it, but yeah, it's gonna take a little while. So Venus, are you gonna try that
I'm
plan
gonna
right now?
try it. So this is my moment of truth.
That's pretty cool.
You embrace your home and call them for aid. They will answer your call in force, arriving exactly when you need them to turn the tide. They fight and serve you for the rest of the battle. Of course, when all is said and done, they probably like to take you home with them. Blah, blah, blah. They don't
okay.
have to.
Oh, is that your moment of truth?
That's my moment of truth. So I'm gonna go. Okay, go. Signal. Send a signal, and I'm gonna take out my little device. And it's gonna shoot a beam up into the sky. And I'm like, okay, call him. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of like weirdly shaped spaceships, like Venus flytraps, they approach. And they already know what I want to do, so they're gonna turn everyone possessed in the city into a plant.
Whoa.
Into Venus
Okay.
flytraps.
All right. So the beams start coming down. The transformation starts happening. You can see the possessed people starting to shake a little bit, and then suddenly all open their mouths and start to speak. It is Paragon's voice that comes out of all those mouths, and it's saying, "This is really annoying. Kids, it's a friend of yours. I think I've seen her before, actually.
I don't have friends, Dad.
Well, maybe so, but you seemed rather close with her when she was in the nice little house that I created for you. Cygnus, be honest. Are you sweet on her?"
Dad. Jeez.
No.
I'm one of my friends.
Look. Hey, a young man has needs. I understand. But your father has needs as well. I'll tell you what.
It's gonna take your girlfriend.
I'll tell you what. If you pluck that rose and give it to me in my garden, maybe I'll give you this entire world. What do you think? And let's just say the rest of your companions there, I think they're going to end up in my garden too. Maybe not exactly in the rose bushes, perhaps under the grass. I'll find a place for them. What do you think, kiddo? Ready to butcher all your acquaintances for Paragon?
If you do this, brother, I'll kill your ass so hard.
Oh, come on, Strangel. You know I hate it when you guys fight.
I was gonna go with no.
You made me very disappointed. And I'm disappointed people get hurt. This little plant transformation thing, it won't stop me, and it will take a little while. In the meantime, I'm going to send some of the city to pluck the rose themselves. They'll bring it to me just fine. As he's saying this, the crowd parts, and several of some of your former acquaintances charge inside, now possessed by Paragon, and they race in to attack. There is a whole bunch of those gorillas from Banana Town. The Simeon Slam team, they're in there. They are possessed. Following them, flying on the back of one of his giant falcons with his other birds with them, is the possessed Pigeon Prince.
Oh, no.
So
Yeah, they're all flying in to attack you, so what do you guys do?
I'm gonna attempt to charge up my powers again, and hopefully this will go better.
Alright, let's have you do that, and then maybe I'll start with Venus. You're kind of too busy. Or no, you can still do something. You're sort of watching over. The transformation starting to happen. Their skin's turning green, but it'll take a little bit longer. So you guys got to hold out until it's finished. So, maybe the Chivo? Unless you want, we can come back to yours. I think maybe Braveblade, you got something you want to do here?
I got an idea. But does anyone else want to go first?
I'm going right now.
My
if you're
idea
ready.
was to grab something very heavy and throw it at Pigeon Prince.
All right. Well, there's like a big statue of let's see. I'll say it's like who's the favorite son of Sentinel City, or actually favorite daughter. It's probably Wolfwoman / Majorette.
Oh,
Left over. You want to hurl? You want to hurl the stone version of her? I mean, we have the. You guys do have a thing for destroying statues from. Or that was the last.
sorry, Wolfwoman. Grab it and just toss it.
Ooh, okay. For this one, we talked about this before. Give me
Yep.
unleash your powers.
All right, and I still get a +1. I get a +1 because of this now. And 12.
Whoa. Okay. It crashes right into Pigeon Prince, knocks him and his giant hawk out or falcon, and they collapse onto the grass. You still got those 2 more birds. They're faltering a little bit because their master's gone. He's unconscious.
I'm gonna say that clears the angry.
I would say so. Smash the statue. But now those gorillas are going to be on you in a second.
I'm attacking the gorillas.
Okay. Remember, these are innocent possessed apes.
Yeah,
So.
but I'm a crazy ass wolf now, and I don't care.
Good
and I
point.
know that that's going to mark a thing on the Doom track. 2 things on the Doom track. I'm not really facing danger alone.
I'm
No.
gonna try to call
I'm
on,
definitely going to hurt
like, a
innocents.
Nova. Like I have the ability to take Nova's powers.
Oh, you
so
can
I'm
do a
gonna
burn
see-
as well? Okay,
yeah.
let's see how you do.
So that's a 13.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm gonna create the shield. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm gonna put a shield around all of us in the middle, with like a little dome at the top, so they can't come at us from the top either.
Nice. Okay.
All right. But
So
I'm
are
not-
you gonna? But you're charging. So are you charging into the shield that she just put up?
Am I out of the shield already, or is there a shield?
If she's already charging, then she's probably out of the shield.
Okay. I will say you're just outside of the force field.
Okay. So I'm going at the gorillas.
All right. Why don't you roll for that?
Okay. So, I'm viewing everybody that's possessed by Paragon as being part of Paragon. Oh, I guess I'm marked 2 on Doom Track because now I am going it alone.
Yeah.
Well,
Huh?
No, you're still in the.
yeah, no, I was gonna
I
say,
mean, you're still in the under the shield.
if she's doing that, then he'll jump after, but I'll wait for.
Okay.
So technically, you'll be alone for about half a second.
All right.
Well, then maybe I should have marked.
Maybe I'll ask: is there anything anybody can do to stop her before she butchers these poor possessed gorillas?
I'll make the gorillas faint before she actually gets them.
Ooh. Okay.
That would actually stop her.
I would
Yeah.
like to.
I mean, they would cease to be a threat.
All right. Well, let's have you roll unleash your powers for the fainting. The Chivo. What are you thinking?
I'd like to see if I can calm the emotions.
Oh, okay. So you roll unleash your powers to make the gorillas faint. The Chivo, why don't you roll to calm?
Since
Try
I'm
and calm Strangel
saving,
now.
trying to save them, wouldn't that be savior?
You know, I'll allow it.
Oh.
Yeah, you can roll savior for this one. I'll say.
You just made a good point.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, mark potential.
Okay. The gorillas are still up. The Chivo.
Dang. That didn't work. Gorillas fear nothing.
Which
Are
one
you-
am I rolling for this one?
This is for comfort and support. So this is plus mundane.
Monday.
Well, but he's using his powers to do it, so.
Oh, okay. Maybe you
That's why I
can.
wasn't sure how you wanted to.
All right. In that case, let's have it be unleash your powers because you're using your emotional control to calm her down. That is plus
I
free.
mean, it's the same
That's
way.
plus 3?
either
Yeah.
way.
Okay, so it's a 10.
Whoa. All right. Strangel.
Okay.
You are not Strange Wolf anymore.
So that calm
Nice.
down angry.
All right,
Okay.
you are just about to reach these gorillas, but then suddenly the werewolf form leaves you, which might be bad because a gorilla jumps in front of you and just wall.
Can I defend on that?
Actually, let's have Cygnus defend because
Okay.
you did you threw the statue.
Okay.
So Cygnus.
and
Yeah,
actually, it'll help clear a little guilty that he's
And
feeling
all
by putting
considering-
himself in between.
but
Sure,
I'm not
or the
facing
gorillas.
danger alone, and I
Nothing
don't
makes
have
you
any-
not guilty like fighting a gorilla.
Y'all. So he will just put himself in the way of the gorilla and Strangel, who is
All
now
right.
de-wolfing.
Roll plus defend
And defend is
plus savior.
plus savior. I am good at that. That would be a 9.
Whoa, nice. Okay,
Okay.
so you are going to take the powerful blow.
That's fine.
So gorilla slams into you. Why don't you roll for that one? But you are safe.
Okay, cool. So I am using all 3 of the burn that I just got to do overcharge and worship. So,
Whoa. Okay.
overcharge. Channel the full capacity of your incredible powers to reshape your environment. Spend 2 burn, take 10 plus when you unleash your powers. So, my powers are unleashed at a 10+ to make this enormous psychic construct of the carpenters. Also, so there's a 50-foot tall Karen Carpenter at the drums,
Okay.
and a 50-foot tall Richard
Fly just
Carpenter at the piano
Okay. So
over the whole crowd, and they start playing Top of the World.
Getting on the way.
And I've also used worship on the crowd, so they are all awed into silence, respect, and attention of the giant carpenters
Whoa.
that are like up there right now. And I don't even have to roll anything for it because doing the burn just makes it all automatically happen.
All right.
So
It definitely gives them pause. And the gorillas, they're out of it. They're like they start like bobbing along, singing along to those great groovy tunes.
And their blues just glance off my manliness.
Oh yeah.
Or godliness.
Sure. They did not land a hit on you.
I give you a thumbs up for calming me down, by the way.
It's okay.
Well done.
And thanks to this brief calmness the Carpenters have created, in that interlude, the transformation happens. So, this turning from human to plant, are they just like big Venus flytraps now, or are they like just people with green skin that are stuck in place with...
No, they're full on like large Venus flytraps.
Oh, wow.
You can turn them back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
That's it.
Everybody in the city is a Venus flytrap. President Prince is like, this is very confusing. Ah! As he is turned to a Venus flytrap.
It's gonna eat one of the birds.
Oh, perhaps. His birds are freaking out. They're Venus flytraps too, though.
Their little wings.
I'm quite certain you can
Oh, were the
reverse
birds?
this. Yes.
Were the birds possessed as well? Or?
I think so. Aragon's into everything.
But she didn't turn the animals into plants, just the people, right?
Whoever was possessed. So
Yeah,
if
and he was pretty much possessing everything. He was okay with
So
it.
that the animals too, everything.
I guess.
Yeah, it's a
Yep.
planty world. Or a plant city.
Okay.
Should have called this Plant City.
A lot of retractions on this.
Uh-huh. And the
Redcon.
the first the kind of flagship of your people lands in front of you, and sort of their ambassador. Who do you think would come out to greet you?
Well, I don't know this person except for in my visions or in my dreams.
Yeah, you probably have got weird psychic communications with
Yeah.
them.
So, like, in the nightmare when she was in the house with her mom before, like, when her mom had those jaws, it's actually, like, that's what her people looks like.
Ah.
But he's like, oh, child, we've been searching for you for so long. I'm like, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Is it
I know
your
it's so interconnected.
thanks for coming? Is it like
guys.
is it your dad or your real mom, or I mean it should be real dad or real mom?
No,
Or-
I don't
I mean I don't know
know
if
that.
plants have that. You just don't know
I
them.
don't know that.
All right. Do you know their name?
Mr. Green.
I like it. So Mr. Green, who is sort of your, he's like, you can call me Mr. Green. It's very good to finally see you, Venus.
Mr. Green.
And I'm happy to have. I mean, we were happy to help turning those people into plants. Kind of a strange request, but
Well, it's part one of the request. Part two is turning them back.
oh, okay. Well, we can do that. You know, look, our people, we're all about love, as you know, and making people their most comfortable, turning them into plants or animals, depending on the whims of the universe. Hey, it's all about love.
We love all except for flies.
Oh yeah, just to hate them, but hey, they are so tasty.
They are delicious.
You know what I also love? Submission. And there's no one who I like submitting to more than Paragon.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And as you're seeing this, his face starts to swirl a little bit too. And then all of your people, their faces begin to swirl. And then you hear... Thankfully, the possessed citizens are rooted into the ground. But your people, Paragon's taken them too. Paragon's like, okay, look, you really think I can't possess plants?
Who's
Come on.
saying that one?
It's kind of in the air, but the fly traps are saying it.
I want to note that all the Venus flytraps outside of the bubble are worshiping the carpenters.
Okay, they're into it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and this little light show you've created, it's a start, but it's not gonna last.
You never like anything I do, Dad.
Well, that's because everything you do stops me from absorbing every free will in the universe into my own. Okay, You know, if my kids were a little bit more on board with the family business, I wouldn't have to do this. And what I'm really about to do, I regret, because you guys are probably going to get hurt.
Okay, Thanos.
Ask Paragon the question.
I mean, sure, the ant can ask me a question before I step on it. Go for it.
Alright, so I'm gonna pierce the mask on him.
Ooh, alright, go ahead and roll.
Sword, get out of my way!
Staring into Paragon. No.
Ooh, that's an 8.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, you get to ask one.
Just one?
Oh, wait, for an 8. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
7 to 9.
Oh, and I can.
But you can, I mean, I'm okay with you asking that's not exactly on the
Yeah,
list.
I
if you
can.
wanna, like...
I get 2 because I can ask an additional question.
Oh, yes, because you're the reform. Yeah, he's definitely a villain, so...
Alright, so how can I get your character to lose this fight?
Whoa. Alright. So Paragon feeds on loneliness, dissension, despair. If you can get, like, friendship, togetherness, affection...
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship, yeah, that's what will stop him.
Care Bear stare.
The Care Bear stare would throw him through a loop for sure. So that kind of showing your the connection that you forged, if you could like find somebody to turn that into a shield that can bounce away his evil, because that's how he seeps in. It's through people doubting themselves and like regret and hatred, self-hatred. You can find somebody to reject that.
Anybody that's doing that.
I know. You can find some way to reject. That's why the carpenters are so effective, because they make you feel good,
Yeah.
or whatever makes you feel good. Perhaps that could force them out of your planet.
Alright. And last question. What was your darkest moment?
Oh,
For Paragon, personally.
you know, for Paragon, it was when their mother left him. When Sister Midnight, when she like rejected him and decided really not to help him in taking over the universe, when she chose her own path, because he's not used to losing, especially losing due to someone's free will, and getting himself spurned like that messed him up. As much as a extraplanar entity from the space between the stars can be.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
The one that's talking, the
Yeah,
Mr. Green.
Yeah. the
Was he
possessed
standing
Venus.
next to Venus, and then his face started to swirl?
Yeah.
All that stuff. All right. Well then, Cygnus, being the guy that he is, engages by, as he sees it's turning to his dad, he does what he would like to do to his dad right now, and uppercuts Mr. Green because he doesn't know who that is.
All right, why don't you give me an unleash your powers on
Now
this
I've
poor
got
plant?
a mark on the doom track.
What? He's not innocent.
Oh no, he's
Possessed.
very innocent. Well, possessed means you're innocent. You're not in control of what you're doing.
That's not how Cygnus thinks. And
All right.
I would be directly engaging.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, 'cause
I
you
don't
take.
feel like I know anything that's happening.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the shield's see-through, right? So you can go back
Yeah,
and
I
see this,
mean-
and you hear Paragon
But
talking.
I don't think I can use my powers
Oh,
through the
that's
shield.
pierce the
Okay.
mask of the hero.
you can like come back in. It's just to keep people out, but like.
Oh, well, I mean, it's Venus' shield, so if she lets you
Yeah,
do that, yes,
yeah.
you can use them to
So
stop
you're-
your
Oh,
brother.
okay, then I'm gonna
That'll be an 8 if it
I'm gonna
doesn't.
try
Okay.
to do a protect the guy by throwing up. I'll move through the barrier and then throw up a shield between my brother and the person that he's trying to punch.
Okay, why don't you roll unleash your powers for that one?
That's not a savior.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're defending Mr. Green.
Yeah. So that is 9.
Ooh. Okay.
So do.
Yes. You do it. The problem is.
But I'm a bull in a china shop, so even on a fail.
Okay, well, here's what I'm gonna say what happens. You hit, you succeed in hurting, but it's your sister who you hurt. Somehow your claws, which are like kind of psychic projections,
That they
when
are.
they cut into psychic projections that she's made, it hurts her mind. So it's like your claws are scratching into the fabric of her brain. So you're gonna take a powerful blow from that.
Okay.
Mr. Green's like, well, I mean, with Sal Paragon's voice, he's like, oh, kids.
I succeeded.
You need-
I channeled the pain into the carpenters who start screaming.
Can I just release like some pheromones now at this point? Was like they're just doing their thing. I'm gonna be like, okay, like love. Let's.
Trying to calm everyone down?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
run over to you right away and I said, hold on. I have an idea.
Okay.
You have the power to amplify, is that correct?
Yes.
Although I do not always admit I am kind of a softie. I would like to work with you to amplify my power as well.
What is your power?
I have the power to overwhelm people's emotions.
Whoa, the chief, what you can do is stage whisper too, so I can hear.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. No,
So
I understand
anyway,
what you're going for, but yeah.
I'm not sure if that's possible for future or if I just repeat what I.
Okay, so you want to combine your emotion controlling powers to like put those positive emotions onto all your teammates and everyone around you.
That, or project them to reverse, like later on, what Paragon's trying to do.
Okay, that could definitely come into play.
That,
Yeah.
that darkness.
Yes.
My other idea was possibly if I could reverse it and pull away his hatred, like take it, so that all
Ooh.
he feels is good. I'm not sure if I
okay.
could pull that or not, but I would need like
Yes.
I'm thinking at least one link up, maybe something else.
So you're amplifying.
Like basically, what it sounds
Is
like.
she
to
amplifying
me,
you, or
Yeah, I would amplify him.
Yeah.
your power negation, or
Actually,
Yeah, channel through her pheromones.
Could I ask
To
Flair
override
if
the
there's
emotion.
something on the ship to also amplify?
He's like, okay, I'll search for it. Give me some time.
Awesome.
He dashes back into the ship.
I'm gonna mark a doom to communicate with her telepathically. So
Okay.
only Venus is hearing this.
Okay.
I know that when you touch somebody, when you remove your gloves, you drain their essence into your body. In a moment, you're going to need to grab my hand. You'll understand when.
Whoa.
Okay.
Alright.
So,
All right, so she knows.
yeah.
So she's like slowly pulling off her glove.
So I'm going to turn to Paragon at this point.
Okay.
Father,
Yes.
enough of channeling yourself through these lesser vessels. You know, and I know, that I'm the portal. I've always been the portal. You'll get through much, much faster if you just use me. I'm
Now-
willing to sacrifice myself so you stop harming these people.
Now that's the kind of families working together that I like to see. Why don't you all provoke on this too?
Do we do the
Mr. Green is saying
amplification,
this.
or is this from?
Well, it's not just yet.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when it's going to happen.
did you guys say that out loud or just between the two of you?
It's provoke.
It was,
provokes is
No, it was
secure-
psychic.
Oh,
It was
Yeah,
psychic.
those two.
Well, these-
No, I mean,
Oh yes,
they're-
he was saying this out loud.
he was just
There.
whispering
Well, 'cause-
to me.
Yeah.
Because you said you were.
Yeah, I
whispering.
basically,
Yeah.
I get the feeling that I sort of overheard and was like, "Hey, Flair, do you got something?" So-
Provoke.
Just because
Yeah,
if that
Flair's-
is an
yeah.
I have power.
We'll be back out
negation
pretty
as well,
soon.
you can assist.
So
And
can I,
Alrezen
that
will
as
return
well.
with the records very soon as well.
can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Begins
Um,
to be able to take care of this, you know.
How many team points do we have right now? And can I use them?
Okay. I would say right now you guys have. It's not quite the climax that's coming up. Maybe maybe like another half hour so you reach the climax area for sure. So right now you have maybe like 2.
I would like to use both the team points,
Okay, for the provoke.
if that's okay with you guys.
I'm okay
If
with
you
it.
really need it. Yeah.
Okay, that's the only way I'm going to get it up to a
Sometimes that's the
success.
only way you confront your own
Well, all you
All
need
right.
is two people to agree.
So, well, it's not. I mean,
kidding.
it's a controlled success because Paragon, like he's definitely into the idea. He likes it, but he's not quite. He's like, okay, but something you gotta do for me first,
Okay.
or actually, I'll take care of it. You know what, Strangel, you really made me proud. You suggested that. You just take a breather. I'll wipe out your friends, or rather, I got somebody else who will do it for me. Someone I think you all know and love. The crowd parts and someone who did not turn into a plant. The one last non-plant in Sentinel City comes out, and it is Jabberwocky. He has gotten pretty messed up. I think his hands he got mauled by a strange wolf. He got his hands bitten. He got one of his hands bitten right off by a strange wolf. And he's not looking the best. And now his face is starting to swirl a bit too. And he just like kind of falls to his knees, and he's like, "The great beast, let it flow through me." And he starts to transform. And he's just like, the Jabberwocky with eyes of flame came woofling through the tuggly wood and burbled as it came. As he's saying that, his eyes bulge right out of his head, growing beach ball huge, His neck shoots outwards, getting kind of real thin and gross. His arms extend. Giant, weird fly wings burst out of his back. And he is transformed into a copy of the Jabberwocky from, like, the Alice in Wonderland illustrations. That weird, freakish, dragon-looking monster. It looks definitely draconic, but it's got humongo eyes, weird antennae. There's something like dragonfly-ish about it, too.
So a giant dragonfly in the city of Venus flytrap.
Something like that, but he's way too big for them to take a bite of. He's Godzilla-sized.
Oh.
And he's more dragon than dragonfly. Big, spindly arms with huge claws. And this new transformed Jabberwocky flies straight towards you, and he rears back his head and shoots out a humongous plume of emerald flame on all of you.
Yeah.
So,
Is the shield not working anymore?
the shield is taking the hits, but it's not going to last long. It'll give you like about a turn to do one or two things
Okay.
before the flame reaches you. Venus?
I want to spend the remaining 2 burns into doing a reality storm, and I just want to blast him.
Ooh. Alright. So you're shooting that.
Yep.
It doesn't quite hit him because Paragon's put a lot of energy in him, but he's like halfway destroyed. What does the reality storm look like?
It's just pink fire, like, and it just engulfs his face.
Oh man, pink and green, all these great colors. Yeah, it's just in like one of his eyeballs bursts and the goo falls down over the park. So he is
But it like bursts into like stars and hearts.
yeah, it's still super bloody though. It's very gross, but very beautiful too.
Father, you understand the reality that anybody that you possess that isn't me is going to be too weak to defeat these people. You know that. If you want my friends to die, I'll kill them for you. All you have to do is get in my body.
Ooh, okay. He says, hey, is that what you think of me? Trust me, daughter. Give me just a little more time. Jabberwocky's reeling back, and he keeps breathing that fire. Now the shield is gone. He's halfway down. I'm gonna say he's probably Brave Blade and Furious Tiger. You're pretty close to it. I think each of you can take a powerful blow as the flame rushes down.
So what do we get for choosing to punch and slash people?
Yeah.
That's one of those, like, could I actually take the powerful blow and defend him at the same time?
Can I actually defend them?
Also Furious Tiger do it, because as this is going on, you're starting to feel the possession into you, like he's starting to come through you.
I'll try and defend you as well. This might not go as
Well, but I also have the Bull's Heart of Defender, so I don't know how exactly I'm rolling Danger instead of Savior to defend him, but I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
you're
a
at the
statue.
It's dangerous. Yeah.
Alright,
Why don't you see how you roll, and then tell me. Well, depending on how you roll, we'll see what you do.
It's a 9.
Okay.
Okay, he is defended. So you're
And-
taking the powerful blow.
Actually, I also have There When It Matters, so
Oh, okay.
when I defend someone on a hit, I can hold 1 instead of choosing from the list, and then later on I can spend it to arrive on the scene ready to help him.
So, does that mean you're leaving the scene, or what is that?
No, basically I'm still in the scene, but basically at a later time I can basically just like, if I'm farther away from him, I can just be like, hey, I'm there.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So,
Ooh. All right.
It's this
Nice.
thing with friends again.
well, you've always been my rival. So,
All right.
so
and with that,
yeah, I will still take the powerful blow.
yeah.
And no way I could, like, block that blow for him.
He's blocking it from you.
Okay.
It's a 7.
Okay, not the worst.
Not the worst.
Yeah.
You can. Which one are you thinking? Let's see. Taking full hardy action, giving ground, struggle past the pain. We can back you to give it a quick
Yeah.
thing.
I'll probably go. I'll give ground.
Ooh, okay. So you fall back a bit, and now the Jabberwocky smashes its claws down, just rips apart the force field, and it's starting to come through. Brave Blade.
Yeah. I'm going to mark an obligation for
Oh.
Weaver.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to tell him. No, I'm going to order him. Weaver, get your forces to blast that dragon to Kingdom Come.
Weaver's like, don't presume to give me... oh, very well. Some of his gunships...
What did I just say?
Some of his gunships fly around. They start shooting down a rain of missiles. Jabberwocky is just blown apart. The missiles are exploding all around its back. it starts to collapse and droop. It's on its last legs for sure. So one more solid hit should finish it off. And it's not, yeah. What are you guys going to do to take it down for good?
Is there anything that's pilotable still on the ground near us?
Yeah, some spider gunships landed near you.
I'm gonna run towards one and thinking that I'd landed that ship all right, thinking I can fly this one just fine right into it.
Whoa, alright, you dive in. The pilot and the crew have evacuated and are helping to fight on the ground. So you pop into the cockpit. What do you do?
What I assume is full throttle and guns blazing.
Ooh, okay.
Alright,
Are you
that's the
trying to
switches.
like suicide to crash into it, or
If I
shoot
think
it
it's
up?
gonna like fall on them, if that's what's possibly happening, or if it's about to...
It's kind of on the ground already. The gunships and
said it's, like,
the blast
really
sheet it put it to
damaged.
the ground. Yeah, it's very damaged. It's standing, but like barely. But it's on the ground.
So yeah, maybe I'll just try to smash into it and knock it over.
Whoa. Okay. Why don't you roll for this one? There's no like use helicopter against monster thing in here. Why don't you be directly engaged?
Abilities that can mess with this thing, so...
Because you could. I mean, you could like take parts of its body apart with the rockets and the.
Alright.
I mean, when I say gunship, it's like a helicopter, so it's got a buzzing rotor at the top.
Alright, well then I'll do that. If I can figure out the switch for that, sure.
All right, so you fly straight into it. Yeah, give me directly engage.
So... sorry, I...
Danger.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's 6.
Potential.
All right, so why do you think this doesn't work?
Because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I thought I needed something big to hit something big, so I went for that.
That makes sense. So you're flying the gunship, it just kind of it's just pilot flying crazily around it. You're doing barrel rolls and aerial stunts, but you are not able to land a blow on this wounded Jabberwocky. So what are the rest of you guys doing?
You said that I can feel like Paragon starting, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not totally in you just yet.
Okay, but do the people, their faces stop swirling so much?
Yeah, the Venus flytraps are starting to calm down. Look a little more normal. Is that the right word? Yeah.
Okay,
Well, as normal as this can get.
But yeah, he's doing what you asked.
okay, good. I gotta play it a little bit longer before I reach out my hand.
Okay.
Jabberwocky's still standing?
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna say as this helicopter is flying or is speeding crazily around, the Jabberwocky raises its claw, smashes the helicopter, and takes out the engine.
Right.
So you are now in your gunship, swirling around, about to crash into the Earth.
Okay. Oh, the gunship's about to crash into the earth?
Yes, and the Jabberwocky's still out there. So 2 things you guys gotta take care of.
Okay. So my character just says bored now. So I go bored now.
Byline.
And
You stole Cygnus's line. No, go for it.
and I am going to do a vitality absorption on Jabberwocky.
Okay.
I just reach out my hand and I'm like, no. Which is, I'm sure it's, oh shit. Yes, that was very effective.
Yeah, he's done.
No matter what that is. Yeah.
You rolled you rolled 2 6s.
I rolled 2 6s. There's
Yeah.
So what does it look
no
like?
matter
in
what
the-
the. So
take
basically,
him out.
like the part where his eyes popped out, you said, like I just pull his essence straight through it. and
Whoa,
He
it's rushing through the
he just
socket.
collapses as a desiccated corpse.
Yeah, he just like deflates and this
Yes.
weird, and then it just crunches up together and is gone. Unfortunately, you still got him with a crashing helicopter.
You will use his telekinesis to fly towards.
We'll have Furious Tire next if there's something.
Well, I was pretty much just going to see if I could just try and catch the helicopter as it's falling.
Whoa, okay.
Well, yeah.
You kind of work together on. Let's have you roll for telekinesis. You can direct it into his
I
hands.
catch a helicopter.
Yeah, great
This is what
idea.
I have taught you.
I know. That's how like she was introduced in the one with him. So.
Yeah.
And you can bet the artist would reuse the same like basic
Same pose.
The same pose, and they're like it's a great homage.
Yes.
All right.
Because although he could use telekinesis to stop the helicopter, that's not Cygnus's style. So he'll fly at it to try to pluck him from the helicopter.
So is this like a double unleash
Sure.
or something? Okay.
Yeah. Roll for the unleash.
So the unleash, that would be a 10.
I got
Okay. What'd you get?
8.
All right. You guys do what you want to do. You slow the helicopter down, and he is able to just pop up. And what do you do?
Basically, I guess I sort of like meet him halfway, just jump up and just land.
And Cygnus is using his telekinesis to fly through and just snatch him from the helicopter.
Oh, nice.
The helicopter's still falling, so you can still
Yeah.
catch the helicopter.
Basically, yeah, I
it's
just
like,
jump up,
friend.
grab the helicopter, and just use
It's like holding me like
whatever.
No,
Oh.
he's
Whatever
very strong, so he's just kind of holding you.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
And it's a very
Instead of crashing and burning, it just makes it. You see just like a crater around me in the helicopter, and just just set it down.
okay, and you are all right. So
Okay.
now, Paragon starts coming through.
Okay. So I'm blowing through the rest of the Doom track to do the following effect. Okay. Keep in mind I've got 4 to go through, so I think this should be effective. Every TV and radio in the entire planet starts playing "The Air That I Breathe" by the Hollies. All at the same time, because if it's going to be an apocalypse, it's going to be an apocalypse to music.
Oh, sure.
And right when the chorus hits, "All I need is the air that I breathe and to love you," which I feel is kind of like right about when Paragon's about to take her over, that's when I reach out my hand.
Okay, so do I roll for that?
So you're. So this is the lethal touch that you're doing here.
Yep.
Okay.
Because this is the only way I can think of to destroy Paragon, like, for good.
All right. So your hands are interlinked. Yeah. And you can feel her. What power do you have that kills? It's the.
Oh, it's like it's through the skin. Basically, it's like poison, basically, and it just like kills whoever I touch.
Is it vitality
Whoa.
absorption?
It's not absorbing. I'm not absorbing anything. It's just like killing.
Okay. So your face is starting to swirl, but then you can see the poison going through the veins, starting to stand out very clearly. And then it's happening to you, and you can feel Paragon being like, "No, I'm not letting it happen like this."
And I'm going to try my best to keep him held inside me as I die.
Whoa, okay. As this is going on, a few things happen that might be able to change stuff and save some kind of stranger's life. First of all, Alharezin comes back with your record player. And he's just like, "Your records?" Goes, "Oh no!" And he's very sad. He sets the record player down. He's like, "Mistress, what should I put on for you?
Like the air that I breathe is like blood.
Would you prefer? Okay, very well. He puts that on. One more can't hurt." He's very sad.
Yep.
Then, Flare, he comes out of the spaceship. Not the spaceship, he comes out of the Watcher Wing, and he has the staff that Agent Orange had, that glowing rune staff, and he says, "This thing's got quite a history. Long time ago, a madman, the Rune Kaiser, got it and put a spear on it. It was stolen from him and then finally used to defeat him. Then Agent Orange found it, used that to stop an alien conqueror called the Tyrant from taking over, adding this planet to his galactic empire. Now, it might be able to help us. This staff is like a psychic matrix. If you can find some way to use it, fill it up with feelings of positivity and friendship, you could force Paragon out of her body. You could stop it. You might be able to save your friends' lives. But you gotta link hands with her, and you gotta use the staff to focus your power. Can you guys do that?"
I think we can do that.
We are doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, this is
This is very Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
You want to do a dance off? Really distract Dad.
All right. So you're all clutching the staff and you hold on?
Yeah, so
Some
you gotta take off my
positive
glove.
feelings.
Just because we're all holding hands
Yep.
and there's 70s music playing.
Yeah. Yeah, steal from the greats. It was actually totally unintentional. I'm just realizing it now.
It's
Okay.
It works.
Yep.
All right.
Basically, those who have the powers to sort of, I'm guessing.
He would, Cygnus would grab Venus's other arm, I would assume, or where there is, maybe have everyone grab him as opposed to grabbing her directly.
All right, so you're kind of the
Be
focal
a
point.
sort of like a sponge.
Yeah, I
to-
can reach out
since
a
he's
hand
more
too if everybody's going in
Technically a
circle.
little more powerful, so they wouldn't be directly. So only we would be directly touching Venus for the
All right.
poison effect.
Right.
That's a left hand,
But
right hand
if-
kind of deal, and then we
Yeah.
And then if you're all touching the rest of us, then you can channel your positive thoughts while we're absorbing the negative effects.
Okay, so you're gonna take a powerful blow as you hold her. And you can feel your dad. He's starting to realize what's going on. He's like, "Stop fighting me."
Nice.
Oh yeah, should I also
3.
take a powerful blow? I guess.
You're kind of beyond powerful blows at this point. You're like dying,
I feel like
and
that's
Paragon is super into you. Wait, no.
Wait.
That's Paragon.
Whoa!
But it is in character.
Are
Yes.
you still full Game of Thrones?
I did a little bit.
Your own entity from beyond the stars, father. Oof. All right. So how do you avoid the your father taking control of you? That's what he's going for now. He's trying to go for both of them.
Well, one of his many tricks that he learned, regardless of being, since the Doomed allows you to pull from everything else, one of the things that the Join does is I get to get powers that my other half does not have access to, regardless of. So one of his powers is power negation.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
by
That
as
negates
he's
Paragon.
absorbing that, he's negating him at the same time. While thinking positive thoughts.
Yeah. Which in your case is killing people, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Images of violence.
Well, somehow that's not what Paragon wants. He's feeding on despair, and you're not feeling it. You are negating his possessing powers.
Because
So
I enjoy
meanwhile,
the killing.
the rest of you guys, you're grabbing hold of Venus.
I don't think they're grabbing a hold of
They're
Venus.
grabbing hold of them.
Oh, they're grabbing hold of Cygnus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think we're making a circle, so somebody's probably grabbing my character's hand too.
yeah, it's him. And you're all looping around.
Oh, okay, so you're grabbing my one hand.
She's holding you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
More like a centerpiece.
And then
Yeah.
I'm holding both of you, and then everyone else can go through me, so that way,
Okay,
yeah.
All
If
right.
there's any negative effects, it's just you and me.
gotcha.
So you can feel, Strangel,
Yeah.
you can feel Paragon seeping out of you and sort of going into your friends. And all you guys, as you're holding on, your faces start to swirl too, especially you, Venus.
Can I attempt a savior to try to prevent this?
I think so. And at this point, Flair's holding out the staff, and he's like, somebody take this. Put him in here.
Crap, we forgot something!
My savior, by the way, is 15.
Ooh. All right. So what are you doing to stop Paragon from feasting on
Basically,
your friend's souls?
I'm pulling his energy back into myself, doing the vitality pull, because that's going to work on him too. So,
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're just
like as he's
draining
trying to
him.
pull himself out of my body, I'm pulling him back in.
Whoa, that makes sense. And like draining, through
Yeah.
his vitality.
Yeah, and I'm using his energy to counter the poison too. So I'm like really trying to kill him.
All right, Furious Tiger, you managed to get a hand free. You grab the staff. You're gonna take a powerful blow as he uses you as a conduit.
Okay.
So we'll see how that one goes. Oh no! All right.
Oh wow!
Furious Tiger, Paragon is super into you.
He's super into you.
Yeah.
He's getting all up in
I know. Your face is starting to swirl.
Did my savior not prevent that?
It prevented him from getting like all of them at once.
Oh.
But because he was the one who put him into the staff, now he's the one who's taking the brunt of it. So, Furious Tiger, what's happening to you? What's Paragon making you do?
Basically, I'm not exactly sure, but I think I'm going to obviously give ground, and because I'm choosing two from the 7 and 9, and I think I'm not exactly sure how, but I want to lash out verbally. So
Ooh.
Lash out verbally to me. 'Cause,
Well, if you get Paragon's voice, or is Paragon speaking through your voice?
okay, basically, I think what's going to happen is just like, you fools, why are you doing this? You should just let me possess you and be all of that you are. And it's just like, and I guess that might provoke you just to say no or something, I don't know.
well, knowing that he has the psychic constructs and feeling the power behind him,
Yeah.
he will basically, like a claw would come out of Cygnus's back and latch on to Furious Tiger, and he will use his power of vitality absorption, but he's using it to solely latch onto Paragon's energy, as
Okay.
opposed
So
to
you're trying to rip Paragon
Furious
free from
Tiger.
Furious Tiger. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a
So
unleash your powers for that one. Nichivo, yeah. What are you thinking while this is going on?
I'd like to try
That's
to
straight, so
distract
that would be-
or mislead in some way that I can.
8, 9. Do we have one team point
Staff to-
left, or do we burn through all those?
Technically speaking, I should have been pumping some team points
Yeah.
back in when I was defending.
For sure, for sure. You guys
Because
would like
I got
two
a
more.
9, but if we can use one team point, that'll push it over
Why
to
didn't you use the
10.
one that I just put in?
All right.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
that- so
Okay, so you were able to take your father's energy out of him. Now it's into you, Nichivo.
Wait, who's?
it's like in
Now
my
it's in
psychic
Cygnus,
construct
yeah.
of an arm thing that's
Yeah, it's
throwing out
kinda
of my
halfway
back.
through
Still
you?
packing into you? Or-
Oh yeah, we're just a big old gigantic cluster of.
I feel like
energy
he's
pulling and
still
pushing.
in me too, because my savior.
Oh, yeah.
provided
For sure.
Right.
leakage.
So your hands on the staff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. Is there any way I can sort of like leap in and bring the staff with him still touching it so that it like end to end hits them?
Well, basically, yeah, because the claw is still in him. It's not hurting him, but you can see the energy.
Yeah, but he wants to take the staff.
As
The
that-
staff is
yeah,
in his
I'm
hand.
thinking if I take the staff and sort of double end it
Oh,
to
sure.
both of you, it might pull the. Because we need to get him into the staff.
Yeah,
That's kind of the
yeah.
idea, right?
So yeah, basically you're just
Like
directing it.
making a
against-
connection.
Yeah.
To the battery end,
Connect- yeah.
almost in a way.
Yeah.
All right, give me a directly engage. I think you're gonna be taking the staff from Furious Tiger.
Okay.
I think he's trying to do it so that I'm still hanging on to it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're still
possible
kind of
just,
taking it.
to
Yeah.
Move his arm, whatever it takes to sort of
Yeah.
just sort of like see if I can connect the two.
Well, I
legs
can
of
say
the
you're
staff.
taking his grip, or you're taking his yeah.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm rolling a danger.
Danger.
Danger, so 8.
It's not bad. Yeah.
All right, and with that, so you pick the take his grip, take the right angle of the staff. Okay.
Connect the nodes.
All right. Connects the nodes. It's going into you, and right now Paragon is seeping through. He's mostly going into the staff, and it's starting to. You can feel it filling up with the energy. Strangel, and you're weak and stay without Paragon. The poison's really getting to you now.
Yeah.
It was able to hold off Paragon taking over your body, but you're starting to collapse.
Okay.
But now, good news is you don't have to hold hands anymore. Pretty much, Paragon is all the staff, which is glowing super brightly. And then, Braveblade, your sword is glowing to match it. Your sword's being like, just let me kill one. Let me do one killing. I can take him. I can use him. It'll be my energy. And what happens then is you guys are kind of recovering. The staff falls onto the ground. It is just glowing and radiating. It's not moving around. It's twisting around a little bit. The citizens, they start to calm down a bit. I mean, they're Venus flytraps. But Mr. Green, like, his face has returned to normal. He's like, who was that? Venus, don't invite me to this planet anymore.
Can you turn the people back now? We were supposed to keep Richard Nixon alive.
Well, funny you should say that. Because one of those spider gunships flies through and lands. And out of it comes Weaver, who is holding the president at gunpoint.
Oh, jeez.
And he shoves them down. Nixon, he's in, his jacket's gone. He's looking a bit scuffed up, but I guess he's the only other human who'd not turned into a plant in the city of plants. And he collapses on the ground, and he's like, "Oh, all right. Look, I know I've made some mistakes. I've made a few errors, perhaps, but it was all for a good cause. And
For yourself.
For freedom. Oh, you can shut the fuck up. How about that?
Richard Nixon just told me to
Shut the fuck up. Yes, he did.
He's kind of a dick.
Absolutely. And Weaver wants this dick destroyed. He gives Nixon a kick, and he's like, why don't you stay there, Mr. President? You can suck on the grass for a little bit. Now, Braveblade, Secret King, it's time to claim your kingdom. And when a king takes power, he takes the head of his opponent. Now's your chance.
half a kingdom. Are you trying to?
It's a pretty violent kingdom, all right. Anyway, don't listen to your superhero friends. You've talked about how you want to be a villain, and that's your true destiny. Well, here's your chance. Take the head of the American president, the man who has wronged us both.
Can I send pheromones his way to like?
1 sec.
You can a little bit, but this is ultimately his decision. I mean, your pheromones can like make someone more predisposed to like you or to go one or the other, but you can't totally change his mind. And the sword is radiating energy, and it really wants to kill Nixon. It's like this man's betrayed all of us. Take his head. None deserve it more than him.
Where's the staff?
It's just lying on the ground glowing.
Okay, so
Nixon's like, please, have I told you about my dog checkers? I gave him a speech about
I did.
I'm not a crook, don't kill me.
I did unlock my moment of truth last time I failed.
Oh, alright.
So,
It's this
I'll
time.
use this right now. You've seen your greatest mistakes, and the rest of the world has too. They're all watching you now, judging every move you make. When everything is on the line and your back is against the wall, though, you'll show them what you're made of. That being a hero is a choice, an act of will, and you've got what it takes to save the day. Of course, afterward you can expect both sides, hero and villain, to deeply question where your loyalties truly lie. So, I just turn back to the rest of you and say, don't worry. And I'm going to turn to Damocles. He really wants to kill somebody, eh?
The sword's like, yes, I very much do.
You kill who I tell you to kill, not what you want. I am in control, not you. So I go up to Weaver. You say, kill my enemy, right? My enemy is right in front of me.
What are you... Wait, no, the president, you should kill him.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. See, I am a hero. A villain, I was not happy in that life. And you know what? I kind of like being a hero. You, on the other hand, suck. Ass. And I chop his head off.
Oh, wow. All right. I'm not going to make you roll for that. It's your moment of truth. His head just goes flying. And also, it wasn't an android. Or a hologram. Oh. This time, Weaver came with him. He brought himself to play.
Town Weaver.
Yeah. And he's dead now. His head comes free. There's a spurt of blood. That helmet with the spider just falls over. The actual severed head rolls out of it. And the helmet with the spider image, or the web image, rolls to a stop at your feet. One of the spider gunmen sees it fall, and he runs over to it and is looking at Weaver's body. All the other Spider-Men, not to be confused with the great Marvel hero Spider-Man, all the other Spider agents are totally unsure what to do because Weaver was their boss, and they should avenge him. But
I'll tell them what to do. I point the sword at them and I say, kneel.
Whoa. Okay, and they do it. That one spider agent with the helmet laying next to him, he picks it up, and with shaking hands, he offers it to you. It's definitely the king is dead, all hail the king kind of a moment.
Cygnus just starts clapping in the back.
We shouldn't have any more problems from them.
Yeah, you are the new Weaver now. And
Also, fuck you, Nixon.
Nixon's like, he just curls up and wets himself. After that display.
Well, that definitely answers the question of whether he's a dog or a wolf.
Oh.
Strangel says as she walks over to a record player, and she digs through her singles and puts on an album, which is Marianne Faithfull's version of As Tears Go By. So there's this sad sort of clarinet music playing.
All right.
And she says, turns to the group and she's like, this is a song my mother gave me. I don't remember her, but this is the first thing she ever gave us. I'm glad we saved your planet. And then she falls over dead.
Ooh, so the poison got through it.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
there anything we can do?
your doom arrives confronted and perish.
Yeah.
So, yay, we saved the world, but she still has to die. So,
Venus is in shock. She didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, because like she thought it was only affecting Paragon for a bit.
As Strangel is falling, then he will grab a hold of her, and since she's dying anyway, he will, as she's dying, he will absorb her vitality
Oh, okay.
and just
All right. So I'm gonna say
sort of
Strangel.
fade away.
The body of Strangel, the mortal shell of Strangel, it is dead. But the psychic energy that is Strangel, thanks to your brother's actions, she's not totally gone. Some of her is able to seep through and enter Cygnus, and there is now even the werewolf goes too. And Cygnus, you started
Wait,
changing a
is
little
he
bit
part
too.
werewolf now?
Oh yeah. He's got a little bit of Strange Wolf in him and a little bit of Strangel. They're all together, kind of in one body. And as you're shifting, you're still conscious. You're conscious in them too.
Yeah.
You're kind of like two minds sharing a body, even though your mind is a little bit fainter, or a lot fainter than his. While this is going on, the staff with Paragon trapped inside is starting to like glow very brightly, and it just you could hear in the voice like, "Just pick me up and put me in the hands of my son."
Is that a good idea?
No, I do not think that is a good idea, no.
And he's like, "Well, I guess that's the tragedy of being a horrific, galaxy-devouring entity. Sometimes you do want to possess your offspring and take over all of creation, but other times you just want to tell your son that you love him, and that you miss your daughter, and I guess nobody believes you." And then Paragon goes silent. The staff is still glowing, but he's trapped in there.
Yeah. I don't know how familiar people are with the lyrics for As Tears Go By, so I'm just going to read the beginning of it to give people an idea of why she chose it, which is, it's the evening of the day. I sit and watch the children play. Smiling faces I can see, but not for me. I sit and watch as tears go by. So,
It's very true, because this bright future that you guys have won today is not for Strangel. Maybe not for Cygnus either. So what do you guys do with the staff, though? Because it is still there, and Paragon's still stuck in there.
We can't just break the staff and kill Paragon forever, can we?
Probably not.
I think
No,
there
but we
is
have a place for it.
secret government building where they put things in boxes. Good place.
Actually, at this point,
There's someplace further away from their reach, though.
That joke again.
while this is happening, Skydancer,
I got it.
you're the one who originally got you into the SOS.
That was Cloud Singer, actually.
Oh, okay, I see. But Skydancer, you had a kind of good relationship. You were talking to him at his
Yeah.
wedding. Newly married Skydancer, and boy, that wedding was like yesterday.
Yeah.
Or no, it's been a few days, but
It's
it's
a
very.
grand happy
It
of
was
Yes.
not that long ago.
Yeah, he was on his honeymoon when Paragon showed up. But you know how heroes are. All would get interrupted. So he comes down on his jetpack with a set of very powerful mechanical gloves, and he says, "I could take this and find some place to keep it safe." And he picks up a staff. And thanks to those big gloves, some of the ones that Professor Diesel designed, they're like big metal power gloves. He is safe. It's not possessing him. So he's like, but as he's like looking around from his jetpack, he looks over at you and sees you with the Weaver helmet. And he's like, "Son, and he looks at the body there, and he's like, "That's not something that I would really want you to do."
Well, let's just say I've got plans in store.
He's like, "Well, I do hope that's the case, but if you've signed on with Spider, even if you're commanding them, I can't see much of a place for you in the SOS."
Oh, well. Justice has many forms.
That might be so. But in my experience, when you start acting like the villains, you end up becoming them. No matter what your motivation is.
I beg to differ.
Well,
I'd say I can turn this entire organization into something that will work. I mean, the rest of you are welcome to join me on this.
he's like, we'll see, but beating a sword into a plowshare unless that sword's really, really reshapen, it's gonna stay a killing blade. And that one that you've got, I don't see it plowing anything anytime soon.
Mr. Metalhead,
Yeah.
perhaps you
That's
can
strange,
place
it's got some
that
fur.
staff in
I
my
know.
Cygnus motions to open the portal to his sanctuary, and nothing happens.
Yeah, you are cut off. And now,
Never mind.
yeah, he's like, appreciate the offer, but we'll figure out a place for it. And he takes the staff and flies away. So at this point, Nixon's picking himself back up. The police and military start to arrive, and the recently unplanted citizens start drifting away. Mr. Green says, Venus, you've done pretty well for yourself here on this planet. You really saved the day. On our home, you could find a place for yourself where you truly be accepted. No need to cover your hands with gloves all the time. No need to worry about your touch, and I see what it did to your friend. If you want, we'll take you with us. What do you think?
Thank you for the offer, but I like it here. Here I am unique.
Okay. Mr. Green says, well, you ever need us again, we'll be in touch. It was, overall, I gotta say, it's been fun. And they start flying back.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah. So all the citizens are...
So long, and thanks for all the plants.
Yeah. Well,
They turned them back.
Yeah, thankfully they have turned them back.
Okay, cool.
Still
Separately, yeah.
The gorillas people, lizard people, and gum people are no longer plant gum, gorilla, lizard people. They're just what they were before.
a lot of subtypes.
Yeah, I know. It's a comic book.
Yeah.
And then Furious Tiger, Comrade Savage comes over to you. He's like, I don't want to be like the broken record, repeating what the plant just said, but I've got a place that needs you. It's a lot farther away from her planet.
Yeah.
We need you in the People's Republic of Vietnam. You've done a good job here playing hero. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you that you weren't. I'm not gonna say you're being a good communist. We're kind of beyond that at this point. You saved the world. That matters a lot. But we could really use you back home.
It's a very tempting offer. And
Well, you can't think about it because... But don't think too long, because I'm looking around, and I gotta say, for these Americans, once you're no longer useful to them...
I'm not American.
That's what Strangel says for you. Once you've outlived your usefulness, once you're no longer a tool for them, they'll cast you aside.
I mean, we're standing right here. We can hear everything you say.
I'm aware of that.
I think that was the point.
Yeah.
What the
I'm
hell?
insulting your country. If you have a country, considering you are now the head of Spider. Yeah.
What are your plans for that, by the way?
Ooh. Whoa, alright, we'll get to that at the end. In the Chivo, before, as Furious Tiger is considering whether or not he should go home and take a leading role in Vietnam as one of their superheroes, or stay in America and be a superhero, what may be a tenuous future, you were approached by Amara Kamen,
Okay.
who's like, my friend, in this dark time, you helped me see me as I really am. You helped me remember my dreams, why I became a superhero in the first place. I want you to stay with me. I want to take you under my wing. We can fight evil side by side. Amara Kamen and Croco Lad. What do you say?
Came in and we'll work on it. This is a dream come true. Yes, I will work with you. But first, that song really reminded me of my sister. I must find her immediately. Please help me get in contact with her. I need to make sure that she's okay. And then we will definitely take out all the crime we can.
We'll take a snap and bite out of crime. He's very
Sounds
happy
good.
about that. And as he's heading off, Henry Kissinger and the American military start coming in and start clearing away some of the damage, cleaning up the bones of the Jabberwocky, and of course picking up poor old Nixon. Kissinger is like, come home, Richard. We need you back in Washington. And he's like, get your fucking hands off me, you stupid Jew. Oh, sorry. They're all bad except for you, Henry.
Except you didn't say Jew.
Yeah, he said a much dirtier word. I know. Nixon had no love for my people. But Kissinger worked for him anyway.
Secretly.
And now he's writing op-eds about how he hates robots. Nobel Peace Prize winner.
This guy.
Yeah. Kissinger, as he's walking out, he's like, I will see you to my promise. You will be taken care of. But I think this time, this age of heroes, it is finished. And America came and it's like, but wait, you promised! And by now, Kissinger and Nixon have walked away. The next day, the news starts coming through. The SOS is no more.
What?
Yeah, it's just the scandal that a bunch of SOS heroes might have been involved in the demonic summoning. The Nixon part is covered up.
What's the demons?
Yeah. They just blame it on some heroes trying to study demons a little too much, and yeah, they use demons. They don't in the story they released to the press. They don't use the right terminology.
It was 1974. They weren't politically correct yet.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, the SOS is no longer welcome in the U.S. because that's the country that really adopted it, founded it. The SOS is no more. I mean, they had chapters kind of around the world which might exist in some form, but the Society of Sentinels pretty much ceases to exist without the American government backing it up. Some of the heroes, thankfully, Kissinger lived up to one part of his promise. He broke his promise about keeping the SOS together, as expected. But you all do get some nice pardons. Nixon gets a whole bunch of presidential pardons before he resigns. So all the heroes you're no longer enemies of the state. None of the heroes are, but now they're not really allowed to be heroes anymore. The American government is thinking there's got to be a new way to make superheroics work, because just having heroes running around by themselves with the government sort of backing them in some way ended up with demons almost taking over a city. Even though, as you guys know, that's not really what happened. And as the decade goes on, the government starts to realize maybe government-backed heroes aren't the right thing. Maybe the free market could do a better job with superheroes. And that's what's going to happen as the 1980s start. And Reaganomics hit superheroics,
Oh, boy.
as you will see in our next arc. But meanwhile, let's kind of talk about what you guys do. So we know the SOS is done, and being a superhero is now not really legal in America anymore.
Perfect.
Yeah. A big shock for poor American. I don't know if you're able to. We'll see how you do getting him through this, Nachiva. But let's start with Michael as Cygnus / I mean, Strangel's personality is kind of in you now, so maybe Kat could chime in as well. But you're not. I mean, Alvarezet thankfully is not in the Sanctum anymore, so you have one weird Cthulhu-headed butler. And that's it. So what happens to the son of Paragon when Paragon is no longer a threat?
Well, first, he never shows up for his pardon because he has no idea what that's for anyway. And then, with this confusion that's going on, he leaves the city. And just to try to work out what's going on with him, period, he lost the sanctuary, which is where he grew up with his sister.
That's true. You still have Alvarezet, though. He's ready. He's willing to iron
him.
your trousers and get your suit set up. Curate your record collection. So you got that. But...
Which at least we have, because he
Oh yeah, save the records. That's good.
Yeah, I did get the records beforehand. Brother, we still haven't found Mother yet, and she said we were supposed to find her in 1974.
Well, he'll notice also that there's a little change to the way his powers seem to work since his other half is gone.
Yeah.
And he says, well, between that time, then maybe we can figure out what's going on.
So he kind of goes off on this sort of vision quest to understand.
If we can find Mother, she can undo a lot of things that have been done.
Ooh.
Then that will be our goal. Which, of course, he's having this conversation with
Oh
himself.
yeah.
It's all.
It's all on his head. Definitely
It's
like
all in
weird.
his head.
You get like
It's very Deadpool.
Well, maybe
Oh, for sure.
Alvarazan is setting that
I feel like you have like an internal headspace that's like the same thing as the castle that was
yeah, a memory palace kind of thing.
Yeah, like a memory palace, and that's where Strangel is, and also Strange Wolf, which is a separate being from her now.
Oh, cool. Okay. So we'll come back to kind of how Strangel's doing this weird body sharing thing, and Strange Wolf to make it even more complex. But let's go to Venus. So you've opted to stay on Earth, but now you're really no longer a superhero, or at least legally. So what do you do?
Yeah, so initially she was gonna try to, be a good hero, but after the world turned against the SOS, after her friend died to save them, she really doesn't really like society as it is, so she decides to take up the Crimson Empress's offer to make her immortal.
Whoa, and she becomes a vampire?
A vampire flytrap. Or a vampire...
Vampire Venus flytrap.
Yep.
Wow. All right,
Never
and
got
this
around
new
to
form of
playing it.
Venus now May could use her pheromones to get
Yep.
some sweet blood, perhaps.
In the shadows.
Living in the shadows will definitely be showing up in future games.
And Cygnus and Venus are the thing that never was.
I know.
So I know, like ships passing in the night.
To be
Very
fair,
sad.
we were way younger than her.
Yeah, it would be a little
That would've
weird.
been weird.
I mean, she wasn't human even either, but then neither were you. A weird thing. Furious Tiger, our human kung fu master. What happens to him? Do you take up Comrade Savage's offer to be a hero
I think
in Vietnam?
after hearing all of this trouble in America, he doesn't really see a place anymore in there. Since the SOS is gone, that was sort of his connection to America. So he does take up the offer, but his condition is that he wants to help to steer Vietnam in a more peaceful sort of teach more ways of peace and sort of try and steer away from all he's experienced, and both in Vietnam and in America.
That makes sense. Helping to kind of heal the nation.
Yeah. And I think if there was any sort of remnant of the Ghost Division, he will definitely try and get rid of that. And any sort of experimentation, he's definitely going to try and...
All right. Well, now, because it used to be that all countries' superheroes would kind of go through the SOS, and other countries could rely on American heroes to show up and help them, but that's not the case anymore. So it's good that Vietnam's got at least one hero helping them, because the superheroes might be gone, but supervillains are absolutely still a thing. Nichiva, what happens to you?
I do my best to convince Mary Kamen that he can't give up. That just because his superiors deem superheroes unworthy or necessary, that people still need them. So I convince him to sort of go underground with me, because I like the idea of not being, in like a costume. I'll let him just still do his thing in the costume. That's totally fine.
I'm sure he got a whole new wardrobe when he burns the American costume
But
after this message comes out.
Some gritty Punisher kind of stuff between us two, really just changing him and getting done what needs to get done, but for the good.
He's a guy in the van.
Maybe, yeah. Let's give him kind of tech support. He just charges in with his new identity of I'm trying to think of what's would be a good because Captain America was nomad for a while after
Right.
Watergate, so he's kind of Ronin Gator. I'll workshop it. All right, so Kat, Strangel's now sharing a body with Cygnus.
Yeah, but she tries to stay out of Cygnus's way. She doesn't have any interest in trying to control his body. She's just got a little psychic space carved out that he can visit
Okay.
her. She doesn't want to be like Dad, She's not interested in possession.
That's cool. She's not not following his footsteps.
Right. She's okay with her brother drawing on her powers, so when he needs them.
That makes sense.
But,
All right.
And she also the wolf contained that way. That's why she's separated into a separate.
Oh yeah, good idea. Because you don't want your brother turning into a werewolf after he's possessed with you.
So that's
You just don't.
that's everything she's doing to sort of protect her brother. But she does kind of nag at him, we've got to find Mom. She's the key to fixing all of this.
Making him remember the mission. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So that will this weird. I don't know if I want to give this new hybrid a name or if it's still just Cygnus, but it might show up a little later.
Will there ever be a Cygnus wolf?
Cygnus wolf.
It
Like,
could be.
she's keeping the wolf barricaded.
Well, yeah,
I don't know,
Sig
like,
Wolf, it could
does,
happen.
does that mean that you've changed from joined to something else, or are you still joined and you get the access to the doomed stuff because the dead doomed person is in you?
Well, I still get, regardless of whether,
Whether I'm
you're
alive.
alive or dead, I still have access to your playbook.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense in the
Yeah.
rule sense.
So you've got like all these super doomed powers now without any consequences because the person that it
Well, I guess
was
now-
affecting is dead.
Well, we share the Doom track.
Ooh.
So I guess now, if I still have a Doom
It's
track,
moved over to
it's
him.
my own Doom.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of. I mean, Paragon is defeated. He's chained up inside this inside Agent Orange's old staff. So
Yeah, like the doom track's filled. All the doom
yeah,
signs
he's
are-
not gonna take over you unless he can break free.
Right. So technically speaking, it's like the doom is like you don't fill up the doom track anymore because it's filled. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, I mean, your destiny is showing up, and you're still around. So you gotta. And you're so charting this new path involves finding your mother.
Yeah.
So Braveblade, or New Weaver. I don't even make a cool new name. Spider Blade or something.
Spider Blade.
Yeah.
Blade Weaver.
But Blade
Weaver.
Weaver. Blade Weaver is a really
Blade
cool
Weaver is
name.
pretty
Weaver.
cool.
But Weaver
He's a
was his own
blade.
dude, wasn't he?
What was that?
Weaver was his own guy.
Yeah.
I want to take up his name.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of a name. It was like kind of a mantle, but really he was the only one who ever held the position. But I mean, to be honest, like you're running Spider, you can name yourself whatever you want. You could call yourself Secret Spider Super King or something,
Nah,
and they got to deal with it.
I think Braveblade's just going to be using his own name for a while. Yeah. Since the SOS is gone, there needs to be a new organization to step up and pursue justice in its stead. And yeah, Braveblade is going to turn Spider into that organization. If the SOS was like the Avengers, think of Spider now as the Thunderbolts.
Ooh, all right. So your whole
Well-
thing is go on.
Yeah, we'll welcome hero and reformed villain alike to fight justice all over the world, despite Nixon.
Well, he is resigned. Our long national nightmare is over.
Like, do you guys eventually become Commando Corps?
Commando Corps?
Oh yeah, I should say so. In this, you might or may not join in for this, or you might stay as some kind of version of Spider. But in the '80s, what happens is that a private organization called Commando Corps appears, and with Reagan's backing, that becomes the only acceptable means of superheroes.
We would never work with.
That makes sense. And I mean, Commando Corps takes their orders from the American government. It's very much like they're contractors, I guess, and they're not so much superheroes as they are superpowered mercenaries.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're more of an underground organization of superheroes.
Okay. So I don't know if you want to keep calling it Spider or like give it a new name, but Spider, you are now trying to turn this into a force for good. And we'll have to see. We'll see how that works out as the '70s end and the 1980s begins.
I already know our first recruit.
Oh, is it going to be a certain Vizandu?
Maybe he just got it. He wanted to join the SOS, but now it's
I know
gone.
he was just getting his application ready, and then he looks at the paper. It's like SOS dissolved.
I know. The Red Widow had just become Professor
Professor S.
Professor S, and now SOS is over, so she's going back to Russia to fight in Afghanistan.
I know. Well, those American dreams
She's
for
always
her might
welcome
be
to
over.
Vietnam.
Huh?
She's probably always welcome in to sort of visit Vietnam.
Yeah, I think that when Afghanistan starts up, that's where she decides she needs to be because she's terrified of the Mujahideen.
That makes sense. So, this ends the Bronze Age arc. The battle for the Bronze is over, and the heroes won?
We won. We defeated.
That's
the
true.
interdimensional
Paragon's defeated. Nixon's defeated.
Lord.
The country,
Strangeless
the world.
defeated.
Yeah. Well, it was not much of a victory, but hey, this is the time when comics, like Gwen Stacy's dead, like dark stuff has started happening in comics, and it's only going to get darker as the '80s happen. which is your Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns era of comic books.
Yeah, I feel like this was sort of a Dark Phoenix kind of.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
That's why she had to die. Also, because I just like killing my characters.
I know. This is your
I
over
was sending
3.
them in
Yeah.
Godhood.
Professor S is still around at least.
Yeah, she is.
So you got one.
I mean, I scripted out how she died way in advance.
Very
We're
cool.
not yet to that.
So next week we're actually going to take kind of a break from these big arcs and have a special one-shot that Samantha Ketchum homebrewed up, this new superhero playbook, new mass playbook called The Ranger. So big thanks to that. And we'll see that in action. We're going to have a Super Sentai, am I blanking? Giant robot, kaiju, mecha. That's the word. Showdown in Japan, because now they don't have the SOS to protect themselves. So the Go-Go Super Mech Battle Force is born. A big thanks to all of our players. Some of us are going to be rejoining us for that one shot next week. Big in Japan, I'll be called. But huge thanks to everybody who came out for Battle for the Bronze. I know some of us have to take a step away, but hopefully they'll return. And I know we'll see some newcomers, some familiar faces. In 2 weeks from now, after a one shot, we're going to have a week off, and then we start the 80s, our next arc, which is entitled New Waves. So, that new arc's coming. There's going to be neon. There's going to be palm trees. The synth music, it will be happening.
Yep. We will work on that. How
I
we get on
your
it?
brain. I don't know if it actually has to be synth music.
I'll do my best.
Scooter, I've got a bunch of 80s sounding synth music from when we did Pandemic.
Oh yeah, we could probably revive some of that. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I uploaded a bunch of, I don't know.
We'll find it. We've got a couple
Find it.
weeks, right? But we'll put together something for next week. Yes, thank you very much. A couple things that I wanted to go over and talk about, because we had a decent little evening going on with some help with some friends out there. So, want to make sure and give a shout out. We got a couple new followers tonight. Followers are Never Split the Party, which I have checked out their stream and their stuff. It's really good stuff. Also, a new follower, Awesomeness Dude.
Love it.
I mean,
What's the second
how can you not?
Awesomeness Dude.
Awesomeness Dude.
Awesomeness
So
Dude.
who knows? Maybe that should be an '80s character right there. Awesomeness
Oh
Dude.
yes, everything Once Man's new name, baby. Awesomeness.
Right. Plus, we also had a couple raids tonight. So we had a couple channels throw over some of their viewers to us. So Video Store Cowboy, thank you so much, man. Means a lot. I watch your stream every once in a while with your 6 and 20. Good stuff out there. So check them out. And also, Never Split the Party. You guys gave us some viewers tonight, and hopefully they enjoyed it, and maybe they'll be back, because somebody spent some of their table tokens, one of our very own, and said, I dare the audience to tune into next week's Big in Japan one-shot. I dare.
They must
said.
do it.
So, they're calling you out there,
dare.
their viewers. So,
You've been
You must do
I
it.
wanted to make sure I didn't announce it at the beginning, and it's not that I forgot, I just kind of went right by it. All of our local events that we're doing right now would not be possible if it wasn't for A1 Comics. A1 Comics has been a great help in Time to Tabletop and what we've been doing lately. They've been donating a lot of board games and time and energy to making sure that we have board games to not just give to the schools, because we're working on giving stuff to the schools, but we're also going to be playing more board games on the channel, and that's, you have to buy those things. So they have given us almost right about 50 board games for us to go ahead and use, donate, put on local events. So huge thank you, guys. Thank you, Lanvin, Ruthie, A1, and of course Big Daddy Brian there at A1. So thank you so much. It means a lot to what we're doing. So on good note here, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. We are going to go ahead and pay it forward, and we're going to give all of our viewers over to playing board games, because they're playing some Call of Cthulhu. which I just played the Munchkin version of that the other day, and woo, it was intense.
Talking about extraplanar beings from the King of Stars.
Yeah. Right?
Synergy.
So it was pretty cool. So let me go ahead and get you guys over there. But thank you so much again, and we will see you very, very soon next week. So pull up a chair, everyone, and make time to tabletop.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.